welcome to the channel. And today we are going to be briefly talking about the game between Manchester United and Newcastle. Um, so recently, Manchester United hasn't been performing well. We saw that it lost its games between Crystal Palace, Arsenal. You know, it's been a tough season for Manchester United, just like Chelsea. And to me, it's this is the Premier League. Anything can happen. You may think you've won, and in the last minutes, 1 2 minute, you lose. So what's going on with Manchester United? It's the players, I believe, that need to ask themselves, am I performing better? Am I doing the best my team needs me to be doing? My club needs me to be doing? Are we doing the best for the fans? And with the Arsenal game, the Casemiro mistake that cost them the game. So it's individual mistakes. They played better than the Crystal Palace game, but it's the individual mistakes that went on that are hurting Manchester United. And the Crystal Palace game, it was awful. It was awful. So I cannot understand how they are going to win tomorrow's game with Newcastle. Because if you had to look here, it's being estimated that Manchester United's win probability is 36, the draw 23, Newcastle 41. It may not make any sense, but at some point it gives you how things are going. And if we are to look at the table, Newcastle is in 6th. It's been improving. In their last 5 games, they have only lost once and then drawn once. Manchester United have drawn twice, lost twice, and only won once. So that should tell you, how it's going to be tomorrow. Manchester United may win this game if they are set up correctly. If the players are ready to play their best game, they can win this game. So there is no doubt, but it should be a nice game to watch. The goalkeeper should be Onana, I guess. He will be the keeper. The defenders, it's a bit concerning. Their back line, it's a bit concerning. Verani is leaving at the end of the season, so he's been okay. He's been one of their best, but to me, they need to look at themselves and understand that they are not performing at the level at which their club needs them to. Newcastle, on the other hand, it's been improving, and they may finish in 6th, because I don't see them losing their last 2 games. Tomorrow, if they lose, then they'll go to 7th if Chelsea wins. So that's a tight race. if you had to look at Newcastle, they haven't been playing their best games recently, but the last five can show you that they have been trying their best. And the fact that their players are quite better than the Manchester United, not exactly better at playing, but they are a bit better. Like the individual mistakes that you see from United, they are costing games more than we can say with Newcastle. You know, Newcastle has a better backline. You know, to my to my to my knowledge, Newcastle has a better backline, and um, Trippier should be able, to get some balls in on the right hand side. Um, Lewis Hall acquired from Chelsea. He's good. Paul Damet, Fabian Sa, Tony Livramento. So the backline for Newcastle is going to be stiff, and Manchester United should make sure that they have some tricks up their sleeves in order to get through that back line. The midfield, of course, Bruno, you know. Sandro I think he's still on suspension. Harvey Barnes, if he plays. Longstaff, he's quite a player. Joe White, Joe Willock, so Murphy. If we can see some nice football tomorrow, it's going to be a game. And let's not forget about Alexander Isak and Anthony Gordon. Let's not forget about those Callum Wilson, some of the best forwards in the league, I will say. So I like Alexander Isak because of the chances he takes. He's fast, and if he's 1-to-1 with the goalkeeper, at least he has a higher chance of putting the goal in the net. So we shouldn't be surprised if Newcastle wins tomorrow or they draw. When it comes to Manchester United, they are forwards. I don't know what's going on with Marcus Rashford. Anthony, he's been awful all season. Awful. With all the hype and all, the money that they bought him, he's been awful. To me, he needs to improve. He needs, in the off season, he needs to learn on what has to be worked upon. Garnacho he's been good. He needs to find ways of penetrating the defense, put in balls, take chances the way he has been doing it. Rasmus, I don't know, with all that hype, he's been okay, but yeah, he's been okay, but at the end of the day, if your team ain't winning games, then what's the point? I would like to see the midfield. Kobe Mino is an excellent kid in the midfield, and yeah, he's been impressive. He's been impressive. If he can get inside and do what he has been doing with the right foot, yeah, he can make some things happen. Amadi Diallo, the forward, he's good. He needs to be given game time in order to build his confidence with the 1-2s, 1-2-3s, to picking off defenders 1-2-3. He's been doing all right. When it comes to the midfield, it's a bit of a disaster, and with the absence of Bruno, yeah, it's going to be a total disaster. But an experienced player like Ericsson, Scott, Casemiro, if they can listen their mistakes, they'll go on and win this game. Defenders need to be alert. They need to be on their game. Wan Bissaka, John Evans, Harry Maguire, Diego Dalot. They need to be alert, because at the end of the day, if you're not taking chances and you're having so many mistakes, that's going to cost you games. Try to block, try to make tackles. Your defensive midfielders need to protect the back line. So tomorrow it should be a match to watch. Manchester United versus Newcastle. It should be a good game. And let's not forget the upcoming game on the 25th, their final. So if Manchester United wants to come home with something, then they need to win the final that is coming up with Man City, or else it's going to be up for grabs by Manchester City. So thank you, and thank you for supporting the channel. Do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Peace out.